It's thrilling, it's wonderful. I mean, you know, we've been not literally around the world, but we've been sort of accompanying this movie for the last couple of weeks. So the incredibly positive reviews of it haven't been hurtful for our traveling convenience, you know. So yeah, I got nothing to say other than I'm really happy. Taron is an incredible talent who I think in himself has a really strong fan base from other endeavors of his. So the fact that he is a singing voice in this is sort of the icing on the cake, and so hopefully the soundtrack that incorporates his voice is going to bring in a new fan base.
Incredibly proud of the film, and it was a long gestation process. You know, we started developing it 12 years ago, and when the pieces finally came together, and as I started to see, you know, the rough assemblies and everything happening, I found it profoundly moving. I thought it really captured the spirit of who Elton is and what the first half of his life journey has been all about. Well, we're a musical fantasy, and we're really entertaining, and I think it's a very inspirational message. And I think we're living in a challenging time in our world right now. I think the world is very divided, and Elton has this wonderful way through his music and through his spirit of life of bringing people together. And I think he shows that in life you can make mistakes, you can lose your way, and then you can find your way back again. And I think that's a very motivating and inspirational message for people, and I think that's why it's resonating in the way that it is. I really felt like Taron had captured Elton's spirit. I mean, his behavior, it's not an impersonation, but his mannerisms and just the way he does certain things in the film, he's like inhabited Elton on this almost molecular level. So I was quite blown away when I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to quantify. It's hard to, because it sounds like lip service maybe, or of course we're here, we're promoting it, everyone's turned out. There's a lot of love in the room, we haven't seen each other, and there's all that hugging going on. But, you know, what Taron has done with his voice and his performance as Elton, he's led from the front in the most incredible way. And there's a commitment level that he delivers that I think makes even someone like you goes, oh, I don't like musicals, go, wow, because it's undeniable the you know, the immersive step that he's taken that brings people like Richard on board and Bryce and that, you know, it doesn't matter what it does, we're all so proud of being a part of it. I think, you know, emotionally what we're looking for is the truth, and that's in large part again to Taron and what he brings and Richard, you know. I think, and what I mean by that is that if you invest in the emotion, if you believe, if we are going with Taron as Elton on that emotional journey, all the facts and the figures and all that kind of stuff is a secondary concern. What we want to see is someone feel it. Because it's Elton's retelling the story. It's not a biography where like Monday this happened, Tuesday. It's his emotional experience that he's remembering. So it's a different way of telling the story. It's a creative, imaginative leap, and that is a real treat to have that opportunity. I mean, a lot of love and creativity and talent. I mean, these are the things that you search for, and you look for like-minded people, or people understand what it is, what the vision is, and how they can get on board with that, how they can be a part of that and make it bigger and better. Adam Murray, the choreographer, and Ronan Marcus, the designer, and Julian Day, the costumes. It's like there's a big part of it that I really have the great pleasure in wrestling people to do their best and deliver more. I'm like, it's Elton John. It's got to be big. It's got to be brave. You know, he says it in the film. Richard Madden says it in the film. Be brave. You know, and it's really the motto that the film lives by. Be brave, because we had nothing to lose. We all sort of stepped out on the ledge.
We need some joy, I think. I think we need some joy in the world. And he has brought joy and love and vulnerability to everyone who hears his music. I mean, that's something that really sets him apart, is that there's so much emotion that comes out of his songs, I think. And when you put that to images in a film, I think the effect can be quite profound. It's about friendship, it's about overcoming obstacles, It's a kind of fly on the wall look at a different decade and a different time. At the heart of it is a lot of kind of family drama that's going on as well. But I would be hard pushed to find someone who isn't affected by Elton's music, even if you don't know it. I think it's so affecting. It's so. It just gives you the feels. I still, to this day, I still listen to things like your song and I get moved by it. It's hard not to be. So I went to the Cannes Film Festival with a film called Billy Elliot about 150 years ago, and Elton was there, and he saw the film, and I think he was so moved by the film. That was the first time I met him, and then he obviously did the music for the musical of Billy Elliot as well, and there's always been this kind of cosmic tethering. Lee Hall also wrote this movie, he wrote, there's a lot that's kind of, the synergy of everything is quite intense. What he's managed to achieve as well as Elton is phenomenal. I mean, he's just between Candle in the Wind, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Your Song. I mean, these are songs that will live forever. What they've achieved is quite remarkable.
David Furness and Elton spent 12 years trying to get it made, and I was very lucky when they asked me to get involved and put it together, and then the film turned out brilliant. So what more can I ask for? I was relieved that people are loving it. Elton loved it, most importantly, and it's the film that I hoped it was going to be, and it's actually better than I could ever imagine. So I'm happy.
I'm just hoping they walk away with this great message in it that is what's happened to Elton. Despite all the things that have happened in his life, he still has this positive, beautiful outlook on life, and I think that's the kind of feeling the film leaves you with at the end. So hopefully people will take that away.
I hope that people have an incredible time. It's we've got all of these great songs at our disposal. So I hope it's a joyous experience. I hope it's an exciting experience. That certainly seems to be the response so far. If you want like a more serious takeaway, I think there's a great lesson to be learned about allowing your children to be their authentic selves, particularly when it comes to sexuality, and the potential damage of not giving people the love they need. I really love doing your song in the movie. It's a real moment of fortification for the relationship with Jamie's character, Bernie. It's the central relationship of the movie. And I think the way we approached that song was to sort of make it, the encapsulation of that friendship.
I got an email from Dexter Fletcher, and he said, "Hey, man, you want to come to London and be in a movie about Elton John?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." We just sort of had so much fun. I mean, Dexter creates an atmosphere where everybody, the prop department, the actors, the extras, they all feel like they can contribute and are part of it, and it's fun, and he's hilarious, and we just had a fantastic time. I mean, I shouldn't have even gotten paid for this, you know what I mean? Like, it was great.